Okay, so I literally just filmed a video, just finished, recorded, uploaded, whatever, on UB4, and Bushy have just dropped this pretty big bombshell, like a lot of news, sort of. So but basically rule changing. Oh my god. Okay, so we have an update to the ban list, which will be going into effect from June 8th in Japan. Now, I don't know when this will come out in English. It's entirely possible that by the time I finish uploading this, we'll get an English announcement, but whatever. So, Fighter's Oath is unlimited, so now I believe TEF is completely back. I don't think there's anything that they are hit with now. And the Gear God Searcher is back to 4. Big fucking deal, because now I have 5 Gear God Thousands, and I can actually run the deck properly. So yeah, this is pretty important. So we can just double check. Okay, yeah, the only limit on TEF remaining is Loud Voice to 1, but to be honest, that doesn't really matter because they have Dragon. So yeah, basically the TEF is now basically completely unhindered. Wow, okay. I'm really out of like a very random time to do that, but yeah, cool. I'm glad to see this because now Chaos can probably be playable. And TEF was already playable, but now they get back this. I can't remember if this was. I think this was banned. It was either banned or limited to 1. But yeah, I mean this is a big deal because like it's kind of a degenerate card for them to have because now they can get loads of gauge and they can 20 damage impact you really easily. But I mean it's fair by modern standards. So on the one hand I'm salty, on the other hand I'm not. Oh. Anyway. Now here's the big one. The other thing's minor. They have added in erratas for 2 cards, and you can see the reason they said. Basically, they just looked at the tops, and they were just like, "Yeah, these 2 cards are broken." And I said this. I said this was the best card in Conan by far. I've said this for ages because there was no downside at all. They've basically nerfed it into pretty much unplayability in the current format. I don't really think there's any scenario in which your opponent will fulfill this condition. So before, you just declare the card type, look at your opponent's hand. If they had it, you drew 2. This was an instant play. Like, yeah. Now, it's only usable if your opponent's hand is at 3 or less. Okay. So, on the one, like, I don't think the card was necessarily broken, so it is kind of sad to see this happen, but I do understand where they're coming from because effectively this just removes the draw 2 from the Black Orc deck, which is basically what they were trying to do here, I think. It's potentially playable in Detective if you're making your opponent discard. The problem is with it. I just don't see how your opponent's ever going to have 3 or less in hand. For you to use this. So I think it's just unplayable now. Yep. So I mean they basically banned it. It's effectively what they did. So their justification is I mean it's it's possible to figure out exactly what they're going to do. And yeah, pretty much. Okay, but here's the main one. Bourbon has now got you can only call once per turn. And this was really needed. This card was so degenerate. Like you could just, it was incredibly easy to loop. So you could just steal all your opponent's gauge. You could do it at the start of their turn as well. So once they charge and drew, you could like get another one out and just take away their last gauge. And the way the timings worked is like if your opponent cast a gauge gain card, you could do some other interaction to get out of the drop zone. Their gauge gain would resolve, and then this ability would resolve immediately. So you just steal like another gauge. So like it became it basically going first, even going second because Black Orc could play on your opponent's turn. So depending on your opening hand, during their start phase, you could literally loop this enough times to effectively have the same impact. It was hard to do. You would have to open pretty broken, but the fact it was possible was a big deal. Now that this is a hard once per turn call, it's a lot more fair. I mean, it's still a staple. It's still an amazing card. But yeah, this was definitely a. I mean, if for nothing else than the gauge and life gain on your end, but also stealing gauge and burning 1 is nice too. But yeah, all right. So yeah, I mean, they can see like this is they realize this was fun, and this is going to happen June 8th as well. So same as the update to the Banlist. That's in 2 weeks or so, just over 2 weeks. And you'll see they are going to be replacing it. Now, yeah, so you can see they've apologised basically, like probably fucked it. Now, as far as English goes, I can very quickly, we'll see if the English website has anything on it. I don't think it does. I didn't want to check earlier. Yeah, it hasn't. So this is going to be pretty interesting because we actually already have the English image of this card. Because if we already have the English image. Because and it's unerrated in English. Otherwise, that would have been something that was mentioned. One of the cards of the days or somewhere it got. I'm aware. Very professional content. There was a news thing here where I'm pretty sure they revealed. Okay, maybe they didn't. Okay, my bad, they didn't. Okay, well, it remains to be seen in English whether Painful Blow and Bourbon will remain in their current form. I don't know if they will. I think they might. Because I don't think, once we get all this new stuff, and especially the fact that we're getting it in July, okay, they're going to hit it. They're going to do the same thing in English. I don't necessarily think they need to for Painful Blow once we get it in English, because it's not that... I think it's an amazing card, but it's not like something that... It's not Bourbon, right? It's not something that's genuinely unfair. It's a card that's just like, okay, cool, I get to look at your hand, which is what the Detective deck does anyway. It might have been a smarter idea for them to limit it somehow that only Detective could use it. I guess that's kind of what they did. Or I don't know, 3 cards is peak, man. Like, I don't know how you're hitting 3. It's 3 or less. Is it less than 3 or just 3 or less? 3 or less. That's tough, especially in the current format. Hand sizes are so big. Getting down to 3 cards in hand, there's very, very, very little that will actually do that. Yeah. Alright, well, they basically banned Painful Blow and hit Bourbon to 1 of an deck, pretty much. Yeah. Well, it's probably 2 or 3. Alright, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.